trans rights activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, let me tell you something. I got the one, the only mind of Jamal, brother from down under. How are you doing here tonight?
Hello, good people. How are you doing? How are you doing? We gon' fly. And this ain't alcohol. This just coffee. Could it be? Could it not be?
Absolutely. Yeah, a brother drinking coffee tonight as well. You know, in Minnesota, it has been snowing real heavy. If you've been here in Minnesota, you know what I mean. Here in southern Minnesota, where I'm at, let me tell you, we've had close to 30 inches. 30 inches of snow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I take pride in taking care of my property. I really do. I take a lot of pride. Ask my wife. I wake up early, very early every day. I go outside and pick up sticks around the property like an old man. You better believe it. And I'm walking slow. And I'm walking slow. Yeah. You know how the old these you white folks know what I'm talking about. I see y'all all the time. Y'all walking slow around the property, picking up stuff and looking around and stuff like I do the same thing. It's beautiful, right? Yeah, because it's like I'm semi-retired. You know, so I'm picking up stuff. I'm making sure that the kids are staying off my lawn. You get what I'm saying? I'm making sure everything looking really nice around there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody touch a thermostat, please believe I know it. Yeah. And when the snow hit 30 inches, I had to say, you know what? With my neck and my back, I said, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to let outside suffer. And I certainly did. I had to pay and get my the snow removed and everything else. Yeah. So it wasn't a good time, but, you know, it was a nice teaching lesson. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We got a lot to discuss tonight. It's a good night, let me tell you. Absolutely good night. Besides all the snow, today it's about 60. Yeah, it's about 60. So what can I say? Brother, how about your neck of the woods? How is it over there?
Man, it started off about 30 degrees out here. Then it changed like toward the end of the day because I'm maintenance and I'm outside riding in my car. Man, it got to like 62, 63. Then tomorrow, Lord willing, live and see it, it's supposed to be even warmer because tomorrow's supposed to be the first day of spring. But I'm shocked that you was telling me you got 30 inches of snow. Man, Jermain, I've been loving that because we finally got some snow twice this year. And it was like week after week, and it was good. It was good. And my kids was able to go outside, made snow cream and everything. I love the snow. I love it.
Yeah, see, you
I
guys,
wish we
you
could
guys
get
don't
30
get a
inches.
lot of snow, so that's why you're in love with it, and then you get a twinkle in your eye. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't get that twinkle. I had that twinkle when I was a baby, when I could just run on the snow and throw stuff around, and somebody bigger than me was picking up my shit. Yeah, but now I can't do that. I can't do that. Ain't no twinkle in my eye when my neck and back hurt, and trust and believe it hurt. Let me go ahead and give some shout outs here real quick. First shout out goes out to Shane 0316, brother from down under, gifted 1 subscription to Conservative Nation. And also, I want to give a shout out to the beautiful Yvette Romick Spielman. Happy Thursday Challenge 1. Let's get 5 more. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give the customers. Absolutely.
And Jermaine, on my end, I would like to thank first Miss Sally Cushmore. Miss Sally Cushmore.
Sally Cushmore, yep, beautiful woman, let me tell you.
Thank you for your kindness and generosity donation to the page through PayPal. Thank you for your kindness and generosity donation to the page to PayPal. Then I would like to thank Shane Terry. Shane Terry saying thank you for your
shout out to brother Shane.
Donation through PayPal.
Absolutely. Shout out to brother Shane. Shout out to the beautiful Sally Cushmore. Shout out to you guys. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This week it's been a blockbuster. Yeah. Politics, ain't it the best show on earth? Yeah, there's no other TV show that beats it. Why do you think so many people's heart is into it? Yeah, besides, being able to dictate your life and everything else. But besides all that,
that part's kindly important.
Yeah. But besides that, but if you're just sitting back and you're watching, it's like you need popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're just sitting there. Do you see what's right there? Yeah, you see that guy you were saying? That's what you're doing. You're eating popcorn and your eyes are blinking. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen.
You better not blink. You're going to miss something. You blink, you're going to miss something now. Hold on, Jermaine. You can't blink.
Oh, Lord.
You're subject to miss something.
Yeah. Yeah, you might miss something. Yeah, that's exactly correct. And a lot of people are missing a lot of stuff. So we're going to speak about that tonight. And another issue, let me tell you something. It's March, the middle of March. It's around St. Patrick's Day. And it's around Panties Dropping Day. Yeah, we talking about spring break. There's never been a season with that many panties dropping. I just want to put that out there. Yeah, they just dropping and the guys are chasing. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Panties are dropping and the guys are chasing out there. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. That's what's going on. Our first one of the night. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a court case in Texas. A lot of folks are sharing this, all right? And it's about a young man. A young teen, I should say. A judge sentenced this teen to a whole lot of years for robbing a convenience store. 25 exact. And let me tell you something. His family is calling the judge riot. Oh, my mama. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. We shall discuss it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Mr. Fontenette, there was a time some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. Mr. Fontenette, there was a time some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. Everyone, state's attorneys were recommending youthful offenders, probation, let's give everybody an opportunity. And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen. I cannot imagine the fear that that person had that was working in that store, that he now has, just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home. And he has 3 people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time. Pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all 3 of you. I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports. And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is what's been happening in the jail.
For folks who don't know what a
PSI
is.
So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because you can't even follow the rules in jail. And the pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it.
Yeah.
And there's got to be something done.
This is a single mama child.
Number 25, DCCR
I got a lot to say about this. Single mamas better start running.
Guilty, freely and voluntarily.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division.
Bow. So there you go. There you go. I want folks to see that. That judge right there, let me tell you something. She did something that a lot of other judges had a problem with doing. Sentencing a young black individual. She didn't rely on all the, this BS and the stereotypes out there. She looked at the facts. And the facts came back that he wasn't good. Brother, what do you think about what happened? She sentenced him to 25 years. The mama, you heard the mama, she was very vocal up front, yelling, running her mouth. What do you think?
You know what, Jermaine? Nobody gets 25 years off the first time they ever do something. Nobody. And so that means he has a history. He has a lengthy criminal record. Whenever I hear black folk, I always talk about, well, this white boy did this and he got just 3 years, but they gave the black boy 10 years. Well, look at the black boy's record. Is he a repeat offender? She didn't just give him 25 years because he did an armed robbery. She didn't do that. He probably had other convictions of felonies, and she got tired of him and recognized him for what he was, as a menace. We used to say terms like menace to society, and the first thing people think of is a movie with Omar Tate and God, I forget the other dude's name, but that's the thing. So she did right, and even you said the pre-screening investigation.
Yeah, the pre-sentence. Yeah,
he's doing everything. He's not learning. He's just becoming a much better criminal. And she said, you want to act like an animal, we'll treat you like an animal, we'll stick you in a cage with other animals.
Yeah. You just can't get around it. And the way I look at this, I used to be a juvenile detention officer. And let me tell you something. A lot of the children that were the worst always came from single parent households. You just can't get around it. It's something that this society tends to run from, because we have, in a sense, let our society get to a point where our families are screwed up. A lot of folks out there, don't come from two-parent households. A lot of them come from one. And a lot of the children, they're not being raised well. And I think that's something that is hard for, a lot of these folks out here who are championing just their mom to understand. You miss a lot of stuff being born in a one-parent household. It's just quite crazy to me that most people can't understand that. These children, especially black children, when they're born in that condition, they don't have a lot of good role models around. And based upon that, you get the craziness of the robbing, the stealing, just to survive. Now, if you go and ask this brother why he's doing this, he's not doing it because it's fun. I want folks to understand this. He's doing it because he was taught, and he was doing it because it's a way of life that he sees that he can get what he wants. Living, how could I say, government paycheck to government paycheck. Your child ain't gonna get that many good opportunities to get the stuff they want in life. And a lot of them find other ways and opportunities to get it. And I believe that this young man found that way through robbing. And him being a teen, he's already having tattoos on his neck. When I see a young black man with tattoos on his neck already, I'm clutching my wallet and I'm hoping. Last words.
You know what, Jermain? A lot of this stuff can be prevented. One, out of wedlock. If these women want to say they got to have sex, they got to get their rocks off, wear a condom and some spermicide, because this is the production of a single mother. This is the production of the failed black single mother household that keep producing these criminals, and the excuses of the black community that make them. I bet you the person he robbed was black. I bet you the store owner in the neighborhood he went was probably black. But the people don't care, because this black man made a good life out of himself. So he's supposed to look out for the thugs and criminals by excusing their behavior.
You just can't get around it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share.
Please like and share.
Next one up, we are going to speak about this one should be good. Let's speak about a teacher. We've been speaking about education here for a while on this program, and one thing I can tell you, education is kind of crazy here in America. We have really changed the way we educate children the way we speak to them, the way they use, certain utensils such as iPads and computers. We've really changed the gamut. And let me tell you something. With all this change, it has really, been a detriment to the children's learning. It really has. A lot of children don't learn like back in the day. They have this emotional learning. And with this emotional learning comes a new way of looking at the world. And I want you guys to take a look at what this teacher is saying. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Now that I am no longer a teacher, thank God, I can finally say the things that have been on my mind all school year. Okay? As somebody that taught high school and basically educating our new young adults, we should all be scared. Every last one of us should be scared. These kids cannot read. They cannot write. There is no type of comprehension skills, no type of critical thinking. They cannot do anything on their own. They expect everything to be taught to them. Well, I won't even say taught. They expect everything to be given to them. So in my class, we did this thing where I made them write once a week. So they would have some type of assignment where they would have to write at least a paragraph, meaning 5 sentences. 5 sentences. The amount of assignments that I got in with 1 sentence, 2 sentences, the amount of complaints I got with the whole 5 sentences, that's too much. Can we do 3? Isn't 3 considered a paragraph? Oh, baby. We are in for a wild ride, y'all. Every assignment that I gave them, I kid y'all not, every assignment that I gave them, there was several students that came to my desk and asked me to walk them through the entire assignment, the whole thing. But genuinely, the truth of the matter is everybody is failing these kids. Everybody. The school board with all these different rules, they're failing these kids. The principals or admin altogether, they're failing these kids, and they're failing the teachers because they're basically telling us that we had to just pass a child along just to keep these graduation numbers up. So everybody. Oh, and don't get me started on the parents. Like, I would call and say, hey, your child is failing, and the first thing is, well, why didn't I know about this? Probably because you didn't answer the phone. Probably because you didn't respond to my emails. On top of that, you have 24-hour access to Power School. When I tell y'all it is horrible, like, the parents that are here now are not the parents that we had growing up. My parents checked my Power School weekly. And still to this day, my brother just graduated high school a few weeks ago, and still to this day, his grades were checked. Everybody's grades were checked. So, unfortunately, it's not these kids' faults. I mean, yeah, they're lazy, but like, what are you supposed to do when all you got to do is tell your mama, well, she failing me, and the school board is going to accommodate that parent? Like, it's crazy, y'all.
Bow. And I'm going to stop it right there. So there you go. This teacher is letting you know the children, they ain't that smart. That's what's going on. She's saying that the children are dumb. And the reason why they are like that is because of the parents. There's no discipline there. The parents don't really check their work. They're not being attentive. Brother, what do you think about this?
Before we go any further, Jermaine, I would like to thank Miss Lisa Sereno. Miss Lisa Sereno, thank
Shout
you for
out to
your
Miss Lisa Sereno
and donation to Conservative Nation. Thank you. She said she accepting the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this, and she has a point. She's right, but a lot of these young teachers have to understand that this generation, the reason why they can't stay focused is because everybody keeps sticking a device in their hand. And I'm not talking about the parents, I'm talking about schools. Schools keep trying to keep up with this futuristic stuff that they think, and some of the kids can't even write cursive.
Yeah.
Some of the kids can't even spell because they got spell check on their tablets, or they got spell check on the computer they work with, and they moving our kids so fast that they're not keeping up with basic things. Well, with you turning on these computers and stuff, these kids, they can't sit down. They're restless because their minds is being dopamine, looking at all the colors and looking at everything going across. And yes, I do blame this on parents. A lot of this on parents, but we have to go to the schools who allowed it to get this far. Remember, it just didn't get this far. It started somewhere. And instead of addressing the issue where it started, they let it continue.
Absolutely. And another issue I have, and I'm going to be I guess I got to be the bad guy. We have too many female teachers. We have way too many female teachers. Too many liberal female teachers that are looking to molest your children as well. When you have the teachers that are as young as this young lady here, the children ain't going to be learning well. The children have a problem. And a lot of it comes down to the teachers. You could get mad at me all you want, but they're part of the problem. The way they look at the world, the way they teach the children, and what they think is important. I want folks to understand. It needs to be reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's it. They don't need to learn about nothing else. And the way that we have our education system in this country is really to babysit and to waste folks' money. That's it. A lot of the stuff you can learn in 3-4 hours. But the children need to be there all day because back in the day, they were trying to get folks to get into work. How are we going to get folks to get into work when they got their children home all day? I know we're going to extend school for 8 hours. So the kids are in there doing nothing. School is just like a babysitting program. And then you go there and you learn a little bit. And the children and then the children are getting molested by the young white teachers. That's what it is. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what's going on. To change all that, we need to look at our education system with a fine tooth comb and a microscope. And let me tell you something. You will see that a lot of these teachers are liberal. A lot of these teachers, in a sense, do not understand the world. And a lot of these teachers are, predators. Last words. Yep, I had to put it out like that. Yeah. So who's gonna say I told a lie? Jermain, they're not all molesting. Gosh darn it, if you go ahead and Google put teacher sucks on student. I mean, my bad. Teacher has sex with student. You go ahead and put that in there. And you come back and tell me they're not screwing the children. Because you'll see nothing but white married and single white women. You'll see them on there crying like that. Right? Yeah, they'll be sitting there crying, getting probation for humping on the students. My bad. Go ahead.
It's so popular. It's up there with sibling porn. People don't understand. Teacher porn and sibling porn, that stuff is out there and it's high. And when you said Predator, I just imagine the teacher coming in like Predator with a cloaking device.
Yeah, like, they Predators.
But you know what, Jermaine? Once again, yes, it's the teachers. Excuse me, it's the parents. But also, it's the students. If you know you living in poverty, if you know you living in squalor and filth, and you want more money, and you see people on television that are rich, but they have degrees and stuff, you got a choice. I can stay in school, get an education, and make something out of my life, or I can sit here and complain or cry. So that's something the child has to get in themselves to do. But if it's not in the mama and not in the daddy, then the child is screwed.
Yeah. Let's go ahead here and move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead here and speak to you guys about spring break. Oh, yeah, spring break is upon us. And there's a lot of folks who are going crazy. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of good videos. Yeah. I ain't going to lie about that. I want to go ahead. You know it. Boy, I seen a whole bunch of booty shaking. And it was quite wild, let me tell you. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Chaos erupts during spring break. We're going to stop at Florida first here. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go.
This is the moment chaos erupts in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hundreds of people running across the beach Saturday after what appeared to be gunshots ringing out.
There were 0 gunshots on the beach because what they were doing was crushing a water bottle to make it sound like a gunshot to stampede the crowd.
The Volusia County Sheriff says it happened even with dozens of law enforcement officers in the crowd, later adding at least one weekend shooting was also spring break related. And in Port Aransas, Texas, police say a 17-year-old shot and wounded 5 people on a beach late Saturday night.
No one's running from gunshots.
But in Miami Beach, Florida, an iconic party town has worked on a spring break rebrand in recent years. And it seems to be working. Police say this weekend arrests plummeted almost 21% year over year. The city's surging resources, more police, DUI and license plate checks, but also parking and getting towed are more expensive.
The strategy that we implemented was an all hands on deck and a collective strategy involving not only the police department, but different city entities that made it very clear. We welcome you to our city, but if you decide to break the rules and break the law, you'll be dealt with accordingly.
Racing a new strategy to avoid scenes like this. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News, Miami Beach, Florida.
We thank you for watching.
Wow. So there you go. You're seeing all the craziness though. Well, I want you guys to take a look at this other one here.
On to, well, spring break really turned chaotic in parts of Florida. Now dozens of arrests have been made and 4 separate shootings there have local leaders and law enforcement calling for a crackdown and tougher enforcement. Reporter Marley Capper is joining us live in Daytona Beach with more details. Marley, good morning.
Dave, good morning. You know, it's definitely been very chaotic here. A lot of people are flocking to Orlando. It's the top destination this year for spring break. And that means that the police officers and the sheriff's office have had to be full force on the beach. Now the county is asking the city to partner together to hopefully crack down on the chaos. The first week of spring break in Daytona Beach brought another huge unapproved party on the shore. People ran from what they thought were gunshots. The noise turned out to be from busted water bottles. The weekend ended with over 80 arrests for open containers, underage drinking, marijuana, and in some cases, illegal guns.
We arrested people from Alabama, from Georgia, from North Carolina, from South Carolina, from Florida. You name it, everybody was here. Hopefully the city will get in line with me, and we're going to declare that special event zone so then I could double that number with Daytona Beach, and we could really crack down.
Along with the heavier presence, he says the special event zone would bring stiffer penalties for broken rules.
Look at they
Mayor
love
of Daytona Beach
showing
made a post
black
on
folks
Facebook
fighting.
saying the youth invasion was unacceptable.
I want to speak about
He went on to say,
this.
quote, "It has been stated that it was requested by the sheriff that the area be designated as a special event district as a result of the planned takeover. I was not informed of any request to designate the area as a special district.
I want to stop it right here. I want to stop it right here. So you guys get the gist. You know, we have a lot of stuff going on with the spring break. Now, these folks who are acting crazy, are they always black? Jamal, can I ask you? Because there's black folks out there who will say that these folks are racist. They're always looking for blacks to put on TV. They're not putting the white folks who are going crazy on spring break. What do you say to this?
Every time I go to monitor the page, Jermaine, on Black Men, it kicks me off.
Oh,
so
okay.
I have to right now. So if we got moderators, if we do have moderators, please go to the page and monitor and make sure there's no trolls, because you know trolls like to pop up on us.
Yeah.
But your question, Jermaine, about looking at this.
Yeah,
Jermaine,
but you know, there's so many black folks out there who will say, hey, they're always looking for black folks to put on TV in disgrace. How come we can never get the white ones? What do you say to that?
You know what, Jermaine, for those people who still send up and saying, what about white folks?
Yep.
What about
That's what they're saying
folks?
right now.
It's not white folk complaining about racism and unfair treatment.
There you go.
In America, it's discriminatory. You can't on one hand say they think we all niggas, and then you act like niggas.
Yep.
You can't have it both ways. You can't complain. You don't mean no white folks. White folks. They think all us niggas. And then every time you turn around, the younger generation break their necks to be niggas. Jermaine, I got this real quick. I got this video. I'm not gonna show it tonight, but just tell me about it. Black folk went on the Norwegian cruise line, Jermaine. And do you know they say, look at complaining that it was quiet and family friendly? They was complaining that it was quiet. They weren't fighting and over chicken tenders. They made videos complaining, Jermaine. It was quiet and peaceful and family friendly.
You know, black folks, in a sense, they're just acting up. They're acting, you know, what can I say? You know, they're acting like their DNA. You know, you just can't get around it. You know, black folks, there's a culture of violence that a lot of black folks love. You know, when black folks see a fight, a regular human being who has the light of the Lord is, you know, how could I say, surprised, upset, you know, a little bit apprehensive, cautious. But the black nigga, when they see somebody fighting, you know what happens? They get a rush inside of them. Let me tell you. Yeah, they get a rush. It almost excites them when they see other folks fighting. That's why every time they get together, you see black folks fighting all the time. You don't believe me? I know some folks don't believe me. Jermain, you're just over here. You love talking crap about black folks. No, I don't.
It's easy.
But it sure is easy. I can tell you that. You know, but, you know, to be honest, running my lips about black folks is my favorite thing to do. It's part of my, you know, I love it. I sit here and eat chicken, you know, wipe my lips with watermelon and run my lips about niggas. Let me go ahead and run this here. I want you guys to see this about Houston. All right, I want you guys to see this about Houston. Houston rodeo is crazy. Yeah, black folks were going crazy there. We had a big whale hippo by the name of Lizzo. She was over there too. She was shaking her two yams. I want you guys to see this. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Oh yeah. Did I tell you it'd be a good show? Gosh darn it. I know folks are like, man, I didn't think so. Yeah, I want you to see this. Okay, first one, Lizzo. The Black American Heritage flag. She is waving. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go. Liz Ho. Oh, Lizzo. Yeah, Liz Ho. Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo or Liz Ho. Here's one of them. Take a look.
Liz Ho.
Black Athletics. So you're seeing Lizzo. They're throwing around this Black Heritage American flag. You know, black folks, especially the mainstream blacks in this country, they love to separate themselves. They love it. Instead of them to have an American flag, they gotta show that it has to have black something in it. What do you say to this?
Jermain, why in the world would they bring a cow to perform in the rodeo? They already got cows there. Why you gonna dress the cow up in the dress and have it sitting up there in front of
I'm telling you, she was sitting up there.
But they should have known what was gonna happen once they bring gear. It's the same thing with the Carnival Cruise. They tried to bring in a certain clientele by appealing to them, but didn't understand niggas carry bags. And I'm not talking about Gucci luggage. I'm talking about their troubles, pain, and excuses. And when they get on a board, ghetto ratchetness is going to take place.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in Houston with her. She's sitting up there doing all that. Like, do you understand? This is about rodeo and riding a bull. something that she should be branded because she big enough to be one.
Yeah. And I want people to see how the Houston rodeo was taken over by what I call the Black Plague. Take a look at this. Make sure you gotta hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
So I saw the video where the Houston rodeo got shut down, and would you want to take a few guesses to why the Houston rodeo got shut down? I'll give you a few hints, right? It's not actual cowboys and cowgirls. It's niggas. Niggas got the Houston rodeo shut down. And you say, John, why do you say that? Go watch the videos. It's the behavior, it's the dresses, it's the lack of accountability, it's the lack of decency, it's a lack of respect for law enforcement. Niggas. It's nothing new. Like, y'all know it, but y'all can't say it. So I'm gonna say it for you. Niggas got the Houston rodeo shit shut down. I don't know why anyone in Houston would want to even invite this crowd out to do. It makes no sense, man. Like, it was cool when it was just like Bun B and, Slim Thug and all these, like, give them a couple nights. But they've turned it into Freaknik. Shut it down.
Wow. Yeah, they turned it to Freaknik. I want you guys to take a look at this other one here real quick.
Here we are again. Here we are again. Here we are again. Here we are again.
So they're running, we got a lot of black folks doing the wrong thing. Now, a lot of this can be curved by putting an age restriction on folks walking in. And then also having what I call a dress code. A lot of clubs have curved niggas out the club. Mm-hmm. By having a dress code. I want white folks to understand something about blacks and niggas. Good black folks out there are just like you. They think just like you. Yes. But niggas, they don't. Niggas think like the degenerate white folks that are out there. I want white folks to understand it. Yeah, you see how Timmy, he's always drunk and he can't get a job, and he's always hitting on Teresa. Yeah, Pookie's doing the same thing. Yeah. You might call him a white trash guy. We call him a nigga. Yeah, they same characteristics. There's two different labels. And let me tell you something about this, y'all. When you put a dress code, these folks, niggas, and white trash folks, something that they can't do is conform. On my mama, you think I'm playing? It's hard for a nigga to go get good clothes, for him to put it on well, and for him to look good. Because a lot of times, if he puts on his clothes regular, the niggas on the block will make fun of him. He won't look like a regular nigga. So he don't want to do that. They will just complain in good nigga fashion. Oh my God, I can't believe they ain't gonna let us up in here. You mean I can't wear my white tee in my hat, my new era hat that still got the tag on the brim? You mean to tell me I can't wear that up in there with some Jordans? Yeah, you can't wear that. So if you put a dress code, niggas can't get in. They'll get upset. Last words on here, brother.
And you know what, Jermaine? I just want to play this clip real quick. It's 3 seconds, and this tells you how you really feel.
Niggas, look at that.
That's all you can say.
Oh,
tie, fee, fi, fo figure. Boy, I hate a nigga. Every time you have something good, niggas tear it up. And they take pride into tearing stuff up.
Yeah.
So they can get mad all they want. They can get mad all they want, Jermaine, about people talking about them. They can get mad and upset, but you know what? It's true. People are tired of them. They live up to the stereotypes, and they embrace it and get mad when the stereotype isn't happening.
Absolutely. You know, niggas embrace it because they think it is cool. I want the white folks to understand. Black folks who sag their pants, there's a whole bunch of white folks who do it too. Let me let you know. The black folks who are doing it, they're not doing it because they're cool. They're doing it because they're dumb and they don't know the good reason to put your pants up, right? We know that it comes from jail, right? They used to have the homosexuals put down their pants down like that. So when they're walking, you know who the homosexuals are. And when that happened, right, and a whole bunch of black folks came in and out of prison, that's where it came from. Seeing homosexuals on the block, they're sitting there, they're down for their dog. Yeah, you better, but they're really down, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So, if you're copying black folks, a lot of the time you're copying dysfunction. I just want to put that out there. And the best way to curb a lot of these problems is to be honest, have a gosh darn, some sort of dress code. Dress code take care of all of this.
Yep.
You don't believe me? You go and ask a lot of these nightclubs out here. They'll tell you, hey, we got rid of a lot of the riffraff. And they'll say, hey, we got a lot of the riffraff. Niggas and bums. Yeah. We got a lot of the riffraff out of the club. That's what they will say. Right? Riffraff equals niggas and bums. Just to let you know. Let's go ahead and move forward. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Next one up. We're going to get into politics. My favorite subject. Yeah! Absolutely my favorite subject. Yeah. U.S. allies reject Trump call for help in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump right now is in the wilderness. He is. He got a hat on like this in the jungle. Yeah, he's looking. And let me tell you something. He's asking for some help. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Hit that like button. Make sure you share.
The president is very dismayed with American allies. He's putting a lot of pressure on them. He wants help from them when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran essentially has at a standstill to oil traffic going through there. Oil traffic that doesn't really pertain to the U.S., but it does because that's how oil is priced. It's a global pricing system, obviously, and it's affecting the U.S. But he's frustrated with American allies.
Numerous countries have told me they're on the way. Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. I just want the fake news media and everybody else to remember that was said, because I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries, because I know that we'll protect them, and if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us.
All right, our reporters are at the White House, Tel Aviv, and New York.
So there you go, Jamal. So Trump in the wilderness. Trump is asking help. The countries don't want to put no tankers through because they're afraid it's going to get blown up. Trump asking for help. Nobody wants to help. Trump excuse my French for everybody out there. I'm going to excuse my French. Excuse my French. I just got to say, ooh, wee, wee, ooh, la, la. Excuse my French. Trump said, fuck them niggas anyway. We don't need them. I just want to put that out there. I just want to, you better. That's what Trump said. He said, fuck them. We don't need them anyway. It's good. Ooh la la. Ooh, wait, hold on. Ooh, wait. He said, fuck them. We don't need them anyway. Jamal, Trump, he asking for help. He done put tariffs on these countries. You know, he done bulldogged them. And he needs some help. And these countries that are over there, they just turn the other way. Trump like, hey, we need help over here. These are the countries. They're like this. Acting like they don't see Trump. They don't see us. What do you think about this? Trump said, fuck them. We don't need them anyway.
Well, here's the thing, and I understand why President Trump is mad. Because of this. America's not getting anything out of this. What President Trump is doing is like, hey, look, y'all need the oil, not us. Y'all need this, not us. Iran has been threatening everybody, been threatening us, but been threatening y'all too. The terrorism y'all have in Europe and everything, and you can't come out and help us? Okay, that's all right, because when we get this oil, don't worry, because once we take this country, there are going to be people in charge who's going to remember, because remember, once the Iranian people get on their feet, take their country back, the Persians come back, and they start dressing and doing like they did pre-1979, they're going to remember that. And the oil prices in America is going to continue to drop. Our economy is going good because we're going to have cheaper gas. So yeah, President Trump, and I hope President Trump leaves NATO. It's about time for us to leave NATO, because when Russia start doing the goose step jig all over Ukraine, America help, and Joe Biden like, I need, hurry up, give me a kid to sniff. Oh, it's a fresh 12-year-old. Okay, I'll send you some help. That's what happened. Now Trump is like, hey, help us secure the strait. We're not asking you for troops. We're not asking you for offensive weapons. We want defensive weapons just to escort these boats out to your oil. But people forgot. The whole Ukrainian war, one of the reasons why Russia was continuing to make money is because the Europeans have been buying Russian oil.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons why it would be hard to get rid of Russia, because of that issue there. Now, Trump, I think that in a sense, he should have expected this from the international community. Israel doesn't have, their name ain't good in the streets. Anywhere Israel go, their name ain't good. Nobody like them. Nobody. The only people that like Israel is Trump and Mark Levin and them folks. Israel got some issues in the international community. They got issues everywhere they walk. So he should have known that, you're going to have issues from the international community. And then also, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of folks who are saying that, especially in the international community, they don't believe that, Israel and U.S. had the authority to go and to do what they're doing. And you got people in Congress who are saying that, President Trump should have came to Congress for war powers and things of this nature. So based upon those issues, Trump's a smart guy. I'm not in office, but gosh darn, I'm a pretty smart guy. I got 3 degrees. I got a master's and 2 bachelors, and I was in the Army. I was a staff sergeant. I gosh darn, I don't think I'm that dumb. But I can tell you, I would be able to see that coming a mile away. I would. Especially the way a lot of these folks acting. They don't like what's going on, and I would assume that would be an issue moving forward. That's what I believe that would have been an issue. You got anything to say before we move on to the next one?
You know what, Jermain? I'm gonna say this: Israel don't care about what nobody think about them, because
I know
Israel been wanting Israel. I
know that's for sure.
To handle
that's
Iran
why they got the mess they in.
2020. Now they tried to handle
Iran. I'm telling you, the PR, nobody likes them. I know why nobody likes them too. I know why.
And
go ahead. Go ahead though, brother. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut in.
Hypocrisy.
I don't mean to cut in, brother. Don't you worry, brother.
Okay. Everybody cries when Israel attacked back. You got Iranians who are aiming missiles at their people, not aiming at their military target, at their people. So what should the Israelis do? Return the favor. That's war. That's how wars used to be fought. You aim at my city, I aim at your city. That's how this goes. But they'll throw bombs at Israel, sit there, hide their ammunitions under their schools and hospitals, then say, no, Allah, no, we don't have no bombs here. And then when Israel hit it, it blows up like it's an ammo dump. Then people say, well,
yeah, absolutely correct. Imagine having a little brother, and I don't know if you have a little brother or not. But imagine having a little brother, okay? And your little brother likes to talk shit. He likes to run his mouth, okay? This is how it's been explained to me by various folks who are historian, everything. Imagine you have a little brother. He's running his lips. He likes to talk shit, but his guns ain't big enough. He loves to run his mouth. He gets into a spit spat, and then he goes ahead and say, you know what, nigga? I'm going to go call my big brother on you. Don't you worry. Yeah, you think you're slick, huh? I went and hit you. You hit me back. You think you're slick. I got you. I'm going to call my big brother. And they go call Big Daddy USA, who got big nuts. And Big Daddy USA come in and interject. That's one of the main reasons why the international community don't like us. Main reason why those folks don't like us over there as well. Is because we're sticking our necks in stuff that we shouldn't have our necks stuck in. for our little brother who can't fight for himself. And that's what's going on. Little brother need to learn how to put up his dukes. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to fight. And if little brother is fighting, let me tell you, if little brother, I know you got a lot to say, but if little brother is fighting by himself and he whooping everybody, big brother don't have to say nothing. All big brother got to say, hey, don't be talking shit to little brother. He's nice and righteous and he's doing the right thing. But a lot of times that ain't what the deal is. The deal is, hey, we don't want anything to go crazy, and then we come in and all of a sudden we're coming in for one side. Go ahead.
No, it's total opposite. Israel is that cousin that you got that will tear it up, and you like, yo, chill. You don't have to do all that. That's Israel. Israel ain't the little brother. Okay, matter of fact, we'll take that. You got two brothers. You got one that's like, hey, big brother, help me. Then you got one, you're like, oh, God, chill, dude, because your little brother, one of your brothers, going to get the gun. First, anything pop off, he like, oh, you talking to my brother? Clack, clack. He ready to shoot. That's Israel. Israel is the little brother that's ready to fight and shoot. And you like, chill, man, calm down. That's Israel. The Israel ain't the one. Israel ain't the little brother who's like, hey, I need your help. Israel, the little brother that's like, what you say? All right, chill.
Well,
man,
you know why Israel need help? Because if it wasn't for the U.S., other nations will be able to proliferate nuclear weapons, and they could be on par with Israel. The only reason why we stepped in is because we don't want Israel to ruin that area with nuclear weapons. That's the only reason why we stepped in. Now, if U.S. got off the moral high horse, you see the way I stopped. I'm very good. I sit back and I'm like this. I'm on a horse.
Israel want to nuke them.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why So that's why that's another reason why they don't like Big Brother, because Big Brother is like, hey, I understand you gonna come. You got the same stash I got. You get what I'm saying? I got the FN. You get what I'm saying? I got the FN. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Where my guns at? My gun's somewhere around here. But I got the FN. I got the 9mm. I understand you like them guns as well. But listen, they only got the 22. Yeah, they got the 22. and then he said, hey, but bro, they keep shooting that 22 over here. I'm trying to end them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, ladies and gentlemen, this is nigga speak right here. This is nigga speech right here. Yeah, if you know what I'm saying, you're saying, Jermain, you don't explain what's going on, right? Yeah, they shooting a 22 over here, cuz. Yeah, he shooting a 22, cuz. Hold on. He shooting a 22, cuz. Hold on, cuz. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the 9. I'm just gonna shoot at their house a little bit. No, don't you do that. Don't you do that. I'm gonna go speak to him for you. So you know what I'm saying? So Big Brother still going like this.
They got the AK.
He walk in. Yeah, Big Brother saying, hey. Little bro over there, he's saying y'all got some beef. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got the same stash I do. He got that 9. Yeah, he got that Tech 9. Yeah. We just picked up that AR this week. Yeah, with that M4. You better stop it. Come on, we ain't gonna do that. And you know what Iran said? He was like, well, we just trying to get on the same part with y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? We trying to move this dope over here too. Y'all moving all the dope around here. Dope is oil, right? Y'all moving all this dope around here. I'm trying to move dope too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then Big Bro say, hey, you know what? Y'all too dumb to handle the 9, the Tech 9, and the M4. Y'all too dumb. We don't trust y'all. So y'all don't have it. But one thing I can tell, I'ma be a good person, and I'ma tell Big Bro, hey, you don't use the 9. You go ahead and use that 22. Okay? It's going to be 22 against 22. Go ahead. My bad. Last words.
I'm gonna say this. When people think about it, Israel already done had a fight with them. Israel beat their hind part.
Mm-hmm.
Israel beat Iran, Iraq, Syria, Egypt, Lebanon. 6-Day War, Israel beat all them countries, and Israel took land. Israel today would have all of Gaza, half of Egypt, and into other areas. The United States step in and say, hey, look, you done beat them. Pull back to these borders and give it. During the 6-Day War, Israel beat everybody by themselves. Well, of course, they had some of our tanks and planes, our Phantom jets, but still, they beat them. America told Israel, hold back, don't, just calm down, and we'll handle it. Israel didn't need our help. They really would like for America just to let them do what they want to do and end it all their way. But America's like, no, we don't want this to escalate because of Russia backs some of these people up.
Yep, there you go.
If you eliminate them, we got to step in and handle Russia.
Yeah.
And this is when it comes to nuclear weapons. When it comes to
see, that's when Big Bro say, hey, man, you go ahead and you take out these fools over here. The Mexicans gonna come, and then I have to start, exchanging weapons with the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. The Mexicans back them. You know what I'm saying? But, ladies and gentlemen, this is very simple. In a sense, it is
mutual shared destruction because Russia got more nukes than Israel.
There you go, mutual shared destruction.
We'll go back and forth.
There you go, and that's where it come down to. So that's why they want the peace. Moving forward, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about Joe Kent. Joe Kent resigned. He had a very long, not a very long, but very precise resignation letter. All right. President Trump wasn't too fond of it. Of course he wasn't. And he said he had a few choice words for him. Joe Kent, after he resigned, he went on the Tucker Carlson show. Okay, the Tucker Carlson Network, his podcast. And he spoke about his decision, and he also spoke about him being kicked off, blocked from an investigation from Charlie Kirk's murder. And I want to go ahead and run this, and when it comes back, I want to discuss it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm running a clip from it. Here we go.
I mean, we still don't know what happened in Butler. We don't know what happened with Charlie Kirk. And by no means am I saying the Israelis did this or any of that, but I'm saying there's a lot of unanswered questions there. And there is enough data to at least say that there's a good chance that President Trump feels like he is under threat. We're not allowed to ask, basically, was there any linkage between what took place with Asif Merchant, who was recruited by the Iranians to come to America to recruit proxies to kill President Trump. The FBI put a confidential human source at him. All this is public now. This is all out there in the open. And he's arrested, and then 2 days later, a sniper takes a shot at President Trump. We think Merchant and we know the CHS was talking about the human source that the FBI put at Merchant. They were talking about, hey, we could kill the president potentially with a sniper rifle. But then they arrest him. 2 days later, Butler happens. And Crooks, according to the official narrative anyways, is an enigma. We don't know anything about him. We can't get into his devices. If we did get into his devices, maybe there's nothing there. No more questions are allowed to be asked about Thomas Crooks. And then, Charlie Kirk is killed publicly in a very horrific way. And we're not really even allowed to look into that at all. And Charlie Kirk was one of President Trump's closest advisors, and he also advocated heavily against a war with Iran. He was in the Oval Office in the lead up to the 12-day war. I wasn't particularly close with Charlie. He was very gracious to me when I was running for Congress, very, very supportive. So we knew each other. And the last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in June in the West Wing, in the stairway. And I said hi to him, and he looked me in the eye, and he said very loudly, and it's a small, you've been in the West Wing, it's small, it's a tight space. And he said, "Joe, stop us from getting into a war with Iran," very loudly.
He was single-minded.
And he walked off, and he went, I believe, into the Oval. So when one of President Trump's closest advisors, who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis, and then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that, it's a data point. It's a data point that we need to look into.
What do you mean when you say we're not allowed to ask any questions about that?
We've been told that this individual, Robinson, is a lone gunman, and maybe he is. But the investigation that I was a part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. And the FBI will say that they stopped that because they wanted to have turn everything over to the Utah state authorities. Everything's going to trial. It's very, very sensitive. But there was still a lot for us to look into that I can't really get into. But there was still linkage for us to investigate that we needed to run down. And I'm not making any conclusions. I'm not saying
I don't think you are.
Because of this happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's unanswered questions. We know the pressure because of the text messages that have been made public that Charlie was under a lot of pressure from a lot of pro-Israel donors. And again, we know Charlie was advocating to President Trump against this war with Iran. And we knew at the end of the 12-day war, at the end of Midnight Hammer, that the Israelis were going to come back and ask us to go back to war again.
Right.
So we have a lot of data points between Butler, the assassination attempts against President Trump, the breaches of his security, what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Can I just ask you to pause on the Charlie Kirk because it upsets me to hear what you're saying, to be reminded that he was murdered, but also to hear you confirm what was reported in the media several months ago, that your office had been blocked from investigating his murder. That does not make sense to me.
Joe Kent, the former director of the United States National Counterterrorism Center, this is from Semaphore, he just resigned. He's now under FBI investigation for allegedly leaking classified information. And the investigation predates his departure. Congressman, your reaction to that tonight? Wow.
Well, there's a lot there, and I think that we need to let this investigation play out, but we shouldn't tolerate any leakers in the administration, particularly regarding classified national security interests and information. So we'll let this play out and see where it goes, but if he was leaking, he ought to be held accountable just like anybody else would be.
Now, 5 minutes.
Wow. So I want to stop it right here. Now, there's a whole bunch of folks on the left, a lot of folks on the right who are upset about this. They're upset about, Joe Kent resigning. They're also upset that there's an FBI investigation on him and nobody is being really investigated on the Epstein stuff. This is what folks are very upset about. Another thing here is that some folks are thinking that he's being railroaded. I gotta put out all the avenues here. Some folks are thinking that he's being railroaded. And the reason why they're thinking he's being railroaded is because of what's going on. The Iran war, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, people are saying that Charlie Kirk, he was against the war. Now, I know he was against the war. I have various text messages. I put it even on my page. I posted a lot of stuff that he's shared, even with other folks. He was against the war in Iran. And a lot of folks are saying that he was killed by the folks there in Israel. They killed him because he was, he was against the war. And the war brings a lot of money, and it brings a lot of stuff to Israel. War is about money for folks who don't understand that as well. For the people who are just in the moral straits. People in this century, they don't go to war for morality. I know you would think so, right? Yeah, for liberation, this, that, and the third. If that was the case, everybody in their mama's mama would be liberated. No, they go to war for interest and money. So if you're still in that, you're still naive, right? You're sucking on that naive tit. You better take it out your mouth and wake up. You better. It's about money and interest. And this war brought a lot of money and interest, and that is another reason why they believe that he was killed. Now, going back to this man here, last thing here I want to say about Joe Kent before I ask Mr. Jamal what he thinks about this. His background, him having 11 tours. Okay. 11. I want folks to say 11. Some folks don't even go through one. All right? He has 11 tours, a gold star husband. His background, you can't say nothing about his background. Impeccable. I went through and looked through his gosh darn background. You should see how many medals the man has. Impeccable. With the stuff that President Trump, and I also posted what President Trump said about him, which I'll show you guys. He labeled everything that in his background. With that being said, some folks don't believe that with his background and his character that he would, make up in a sense a lie like this. What do you think about this here, sir?
One, when Joe Kent went through confirmation, Democrats call him a member of the Klan. They call him a racist, bigot, and everything, and not one Democrat voted for him. Soon as he comes out against Trump, oh, we love you. We care. Tell us what you think. But when he was going through confirmation, they didn't want to hear him. They didn't care about him. When I hear someone who was a former Trump administration guy and they find out Donald Trump, he hires people, and guess what? He learns whether or not he can trust you, he fires you. Same thing with General Mattis. Same thing. This guy's no different from General Mattis. Oh, we like General Mattis, but when we found out that General Mattis thought he could run Trump is like, no, you don't run me, I run you. When it comes to, oh my God, Israel behind Charlie Kirk. This is the same crap we heard the government took out Tupac. Tupac was assassinated because he was just too real. Oh, Negro, please.
No, I thought it was P. Diddy in there.
No, they said originally he was took out by the government because
niggas ain't
he
shit
said
for that.
this ghetto got a heaven.
I would never believe that.
The ghetto
Nigga
by the
ain't
heaven.
shit.
And the government took him out. No government didn't take. No government of Israel took Charlie Kirk out. No, it was just some crazed trans guy who was smart enough to get past a lazy police force who didn't want to protect Charlie Kirk. If people really want to know what we have seen exposed is police forces and so-called security who don't want to do their job because they don't like your politics. President Trump, Butler, Pennsylvania. So the whole thing is he went on a show that he knew that they would accept his premise of what his opinion on the war and the thing. And like so, people who don't want this war with Iran, people who want to believe Israel is the puppet master and Donald Trump is dancing, because you guys people believe, oh, Israel is commanding Donald Trump. For people who want to believe that, he fed them what they want. And then there are people like me who remember the confirmation, then see Democrats hug you and love you, and then when you hear about the man's wife, she's anti-Israel too. So when you weigh it all for someone like me, he's just someone President Trump dismissed.
Oh, let me play devil advocate here for a second. I want to get your for a quick second. I want to get your opinion on this. So if you let's say if you support Trump all the way through and through, and you have a simple disagreement, does that mean that all of a sudden you need to be thrown to the wolves? Can I ask you that?
Yes, you do. If you sit there and pull,
man, I want to go out and say, first of all, I don't believe that at all. I don't. But go ahead. You go ahead and finish up your statement, and then I'll finish up and go to the next one.
If we sit there and we're supposed to be friends, and you sit there and you stab me in the back and you come out trying to make it look like I'm a weak, pathetic person, you daggone right. By him saying that he doesn't agree with you so you have a friend, and your friend says he agrees with most of the stuff you do. He said, hey, I just don't agree with what you're doing this time around, but I love you and everything else. So you think that you should just get rid of that person because even though they've supported you, and the reason why I'm saying this is because this is what's going on in the Republican Party. I think it's so evil. You want me to answer that?
Yeah. I heard your answer. You said yes.
Because if you sit there and you say, yeah, I love you, I love Jamal, man, he cool, but his wife be whooping his ass. His wife be whooping his ass and telling him what to do.
But he didn't say that though.
Wear panties around the street.
He didn't say that though.
He said Israel. He said Israel runs Trump. Donald Trump and a man like Donald Trump, when you tell him and you go out there saying that somebody leading him by the nose, yes, that's exactly the same thing. You can sit there, oh my gosh, Jamal, he's so cool, but his wife be whooping his hind paw, making him wear panties and high heels around the house. And when she come in the house, he go, hey girl.
How about this, Jamal? When he left, he said, you know what, I believe Israel is just influencing a lot of what's going on. Now, from what I've heard, in a sense, is that it's the backlash that really caused it. So let's say this. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Very nice one. Let's say that you guys, you have a friend. He doesn't like what you're doing. He says, hey, Jamal, I like the way that you play basketball, but you're not that good at defense, and because you're not good at defense, we are gonna lose this game. Now, because he said that he had an opinion on your defense, all right, and you say, hey, nigga, I don't like the way that you said that. And I don't like the way that you're doing all that stuff. You're gone. Because you know that if you say you're going to be gone anyway. So you're gone. And then you roast him while he's walking away. Don't you think that person is going to talk some shit to you too as well?
If you walk out the door and you sit here and say, Jamal, man, you really need to increase your defense, bro. You really need to sit here and really work on that. That's different from, yo, nigga, you suck. Nigga, you couldn't guard a dead man.
Yeah, and I don't think he said that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You must understand the person whom you're dealing with when it comes to President Trump. You do not insult his ego. When you start saying
That's
Donald
true.
Trump
Gosh
was
darn
led
it. He
by
wanted in. Yeah,
Israel,
that's
by
true.
his nose,
You know, you're correct.
person-
I ain't gonna lie. You are correct. You know, politics is also about learning who you're speaking to. Okay, President Trump, he got one of those egos where he think his shit don't stink. Okay, and if you say his shit stinks, he gonna be very upset. And I think that when you have an ego like that too, sometimes it's hard when you screw up to to admit and correct action. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that he's able to do that. Now we can spend time on this for a while, but I want to go ahead and bring this up here. Let me bring this up. Bow. Let me see. Let me look at what time we have. Okay, we still have time.
It's
I want to
here
go
in
ahead
North
and speak to you guys about this.
12:24.
So Iran, there was a video here. Iran strike to Pearl Harbor in new clip. I want you guys to take a look at this one. I don't know why I labeled it this. I don't know. I titled it this. Take a look.
Why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
So I wanted to go ahead and show that. That was to me, that was hilarious. You know, I know some folks ain't gonna be happy about that, but gosh darn it, you know, it's politics. You gotta laugh. So I thought that was hilarious. I wanted folks to see that. You know, but let's get back to it. So right now, there's folks speaking about Bibi Netanyahu. They're saying that they don't know where he is. A lot of folks are saying that Iran killed him, and they're playing games for morale in the war. I want to go ahead and show you guys this video because a lot of people are passing this video around. I've seen subsequent videos. I've seen so many AI videos of Bibi Netanyahu. I don't know who is the real Bibi or if Bibi is there. I want to go ahead and run this. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Released images and audio of Benjamin Netanyahu buying a cup of coffee in a Jerusalem cafe, although that cafe is in fact closed as a result of Iranian strikes. So it would have had to have been specially opened just for him. More importantly, he bought a frothy latte. It was pure frothy. According to Grok, it was 95% likely a fake, an AI or other fake image. According to other experts in the field, it's 97% fake. You could tell
I could tell that
one or
sucker
two
was
of
fake.
the characteristics of the fake that it was just that. First of all, it was a distinctly thinner Benjamin Netanyahu than the last time he was pictured in public just 5 days ago. Now, he might be on the Ozempic, but it's working fast if he is. Secondly, he picked up the frothy latte, and it was frothing to the brim, and not a single drop of it spilled.
Spilled. That's
not
what
a single
I said.
drop of it
As
appeared
fast
on
as
his
he
upper
moved
lip.
that sucker.
He took a very big drink of it, and then the camera shot the cup again, and if he did take a drink of it, he didn't swallow, because the cup was still filled to the brim. And then we learned that he did exactly the same trick in exactly the same cafe in 2024. And there are some images, whether correct or not, I can't vouch. There are some images that seem to show on the receipt, on the till, that this actually was in 2024. He showed his fingers, and there were only 5 of them, but we could tell he was lying because his lips were moving. But his lips and his ears didn't look like Benjamin Netanyahu's lips and ears. It's really all very perplexing.
Wow. It is. It's very perplexing. In the world of deep fakes, in the world of AI, let me tell you something. People are always wondering, brother, what do you think about this? Do you think Bibi Netanyahu is just, he's chilling in a bunker somewhere? And, these are just put out just for, propaganda. What do you think?
I may hurt some people's feelings when I say this, but these sound like the same retards who said Joe Biden, that wasn't the real Joe Biden, that was a mask, a skin mask, and there's somebody faking this Joe Biden. It's the same, and someone like this guy who's talking right now. Oh my gosh, this not Joe Biden. Jamal, look, you need to talk about this on your show. Jamal, that's not the real Joe Biden. I'm not talking about you. This is my, bruh. That's Joe Biden. No, look behind the ears. That's a skin mask. Really, people, cut it out. Yes, that's the real Benjamin Netanyahu. He is alive. Now, the same thing when it comes to the Ayatollah Khomeini's son, who foot blown off, who leg blown off, and he's gay and he needs Viagra. Okay, is he alive? Yes, he's somewhere. From what they say in Russia, they got him out of there when his leg got blown off to save his life, because Iran is Russia's supplier of drones, and they need the drones to take out Ukraine. So they're kind of like hip to hip. But whoever's calling that AI, it's the same people.
They all are. A lot of folks are, even intelligence officials, they're calling some of this AI. They calling the video AI. Now, I've seen some videos of Benjamin Netanyahu. There's out there that he's with, I believe, Huckabee. And that one looks real. But this one I can tell it's a fake. If you look at certain things long enough and you know how they move, you can tell it's a fake. So that video there, I believe it's a fake as well. But, Bibi Netanyahu, in a sense, by him keeping the mysterious, figure like he's alive or he's dead, that, really plays on the morality as well. If Bibi Netanyahu was dead, you know what that does to morality? Especially on the other side, it boosts all the way up. Super up. So if he was dead, there's no way they're going to tell you. They ain't going to tell you until later on, and then they'll say, oh, yeah, he had some brain aneurysm and died, and they'll make up some story. But they're not going to be honest and tell you, hey, he's dead. Imagine we go into war, and then all of a sudden President Trump had a heart attack and died. Do you think they're going to go and tell the other side that President Trump had a heart attack and died? The only people who will do that are the evil liberals. But if you have a strong country and the country believe in the country, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. You're not. So we shall see. You know, do I believe he's alive? I don't know. I don't know because I haven't seen enough evidence to prove that he's alive. My ears are very low to the ground, though, I can tell you that. They're super, super low. So we shall see. Last but not least, before we get out of here, I want to speak about this $200 billion that the Pentagon is requesting funds. I want to go ahead and run this. When we come back, we shall discuss it. Here we go.
CBS's Weijia Jiang joins us now from the White House. Weijia, you heard the conversation here. Please add to it based on what the president said, and he said quite a few things today in the Oval Office.
He did, Major, so I'll pick up where Aaron left off about this issue of boots on the ground, because as we know, that would be required to remove any of that enriched uranium that is at the core of the nuclear capabilities that we're talking about. And the president was asked explicitly today whether he plans to put boots on the ground. And he said, no, I'm not putting troops anywhere. He also said, if I decided to, I wouldn't tell you, but no, I'm not doing that. So it seems as of now, he says he doesn't have plans to do that. The president also talked about this $200 billion supplemental request from the Pentagon to Congress to continue funding the war. We have heard from both Democrats and Republicans their hesitancy to even engage on that huge of a number, which, by the way, is more than all the funding that the U.S. has provided to the war in Ukraine. And today in the Oval Office, I was in there, Major, and the president spoke again extensively about how the U.S. has obliterated the Iranian military capability. He also said that he thought the war would be wrapped up soon. So I asked him if that was the case, why the Pentagon still needed hundreds of billions of dollars. Here's what he said.
If the war is almost over, why is the Pentagon going to ask Congress for an additional $200 billion?
Well, we're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran. This is a very volatile world, and the military equipment, the power of some of this weaponry is unthinkable. You don't even want to know about it. Oh, you could end this thing in 2 seconds if you wanted to, but we are being very judicious. But we want to do, don't forget, Biden gave away, I rebuilt the military in my first term. Biden gave away so stupidly to Afghanistan a lot. He didn't want to move it. He was too lazy, too stupid to move it. But it was a very small amount. It was a lot, but it was very small relative to what I purchased and what I built. We want to have vast amounts of ammunition, which we have right now. We have a lot of ammunition, but it was taken down by giving so much to Ukraine.
The president continues to insist that this conflict is almost over, although Major today he did not.
So there you go. There you go. So we have the president asking for some big bread. Now, one thing I can tell you that is probably going to be a lot of problems for him is the Democrats and a lot of Republicans. The Republicans that have an issue with this is the war powers. The Democrats that have an issue with this is the war powers and the money that's being used, which could be used for entitlements. The Democrats are saying that instead of the $200 billion being used on war to kill folks, they're saying that that money could be used for health care. It could be used for a whole bunch of infrastructure, things that the U.S. needs. What do you think about this here, sir?
You know, when I hear a Democrat start telling about things America needs, first thing I tell a Democrat, oh, really? So America don't need, so then we should have never did the transgender stuff. We should never start paying for soldiers to get transgender. We should never start paying for that. Oh, you didn't care about the money that you sat here and wasted on illegal immigrants, giving them defenses. You know, you're paying for illegal immigrants to get attorneys. This war is needed. Just to let people know something, because a lot of people have forgotten. Let me take people memory down memory lane. People remember this right here? This happened in 2016. People remember this what happened in 2016? This is the U.S. Navy on their knees because the Iranians captured 2 of our ships and humiliated our U.S. Navy. The Iranians humiliated the U.S. Navy. What did Barack Obama do? What did Barack Obama do January 2016? Nothing. He didn't even mention this in the State of the Union address. He didn't even mention this. But what did people say? This is unacceptable. He gave them pallets of cash while our Navy sailors would sit there and capture. He gave them pallets of cash. And what did people say? I can't believe Barack Obama didn't wipe them out. Why didn't Barack Obama handle it? So when I sit here and I hear people like all these excuses about when it comes to this thing with Iran, Iran has been asking for this for over 47 years. They have humiliated the U.S. Navy. They have humiliated our Army. They have done everything, stuck their nose in our faces, and now it's time. As they used to say, it's time to pay the piper. People forgot about this. The Navy being captured. They captured our U.S. Navy and we didn't fire a shot back in defense. And they paraded them down the street, stuck them in a bunker, put them on TV to say, oh, Iran are great people, took the women, separated them, made them wear hijabis and everything. People seem to forgot about that.
Yeah. And the pallets of cash that Obama sent over. He sent it in the darkness of night too. Obama did. He sent the cash. Man, I wish I could get a payment like that. Big ass pallet of cash. Flown in by the U.S. military. Oh my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama for coming on and hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. I am hoping that Trump can do the right thing for America, because I root for America. And I'm also rooting for President Trump to do the right thing. I want him to get off the off-ramp off this war here and worry about America. Now, I know there's some folks who are going to disagree with me. That's okay. I love you. All right. I know some folks don't love me. Right? I know. You got a different morality than me. I still love you. All right? I'm a guy who can say, you know what? I don't agree with what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But I'm still going to support him. Because that's who I am. It's kind of like your parents, you know. Your parents love you. They don't always support you, though. You better believe it. They don't always support you, but they love you. And they're there for you. And that's the type of love and support I have. Last word for our beautiful crowd before we depart here, sir.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you all for giving us your time. And people, y'all have to understand, when me and Jermain go back and forth, that's part of the show. That's part of us.
Yeah, how the hell can't agree with me 24/7? The hell?
Yes, and I'm gonna bring this up because a lot of people have to understand. Shoot. Yes, we were part of a very successful network, the 4Js. One of the reasons why it split up was because instead of us coming back together and talking, we didn't do that. Now we're older And if Jermain disagrees with me on something, we disagree. It's not like we end the show like, I can't stand Jermain. I can't stand that nigga. No, we're not saying that. We have a disagreement, and then as grown men, we talk about it on the show, but we don't insult each other. We don't do that. So for y'all who last, it was like, oh my God, Jamal, I can't believe you and Jermain was arguing. We weren't arguing. We was disagreeing with each other. We love each other. You forgot me.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to have a disagreement. Yeah. Jamal, I need to cut in. Yeah, I need to cut in.
Okay.
That's the way you're supposed to have disagreements. Most folks nowadays, they have an emotional issue. They do. They have an emotional issue. Somebody says something that you don't like, screw them, F them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There's something wrong with you if you do stuff like that. There's something wrong with you. Right? You need to go pray to the Jesus that you claim that you love. You go and do that. You're not supposed to treat folks like that. I talk crap about liberals daily, all day long. But that doesn't mean at the end of the day that I'm going to act immoral towards them. I want folks to understand, just because we have difference of opinion doesn't give me the right to be immoral and rude. And when we get older, because we have that, nobody really governs our morality except for us when we get older, right? A lot of folks have the notion of just get out of here. I'm never going to speak to you again.
Yes.
And when you have that notion, let me tell you something. You don't get successful in your life. You don't become successful. You don't.
Mm-mm.
And I want people to understand that. You're going to have to be able to speak your opinions honestly, calmly, precisely, so that folks can understand what the hell you're saying. If you're not able to do that, politics ain't for you. That's why politics ain't for everybody. They have an issue. It's hard for them to, get the mind to quiet down enough for them to speak something that's coherent for somebody to agree with you. So I want folks to understand that. If you have a issue like that where you hear somebody who disagrees with you, mm-hmm. and all of a sudden you're saying F them, work on it. That's all I'm saying. Work on it. Because I'm telling you, you will have a better understanding of the world. You have a better understanding of interpersonal relationships. If you calm down, speak well, and love one another. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic night. We love you, and we'll catch you guys here with another edition later. All right? You guys take care. Love you, and good night.